Have you read Think and Grow Rich? Maybe you've even underlined the powerful phrases, written down the principles, memorized the 13 steps. But what if I told you that the real secret was never printed on any page? What if what really transforms is not written in ink, but whispered between the lines, waiting for eyes that see beyond? Napoleon Hill himself warned, "The secret will not be given directly. Those who are ready to receive it will perceive it." But how many were really ready? Many believe that Hill wrote a manual on wealth. But that's just the first layer. The book talks about money, yes, but it talks about something even more dangerous: the power to shape reality with the mind. The kind of power that is not taught in schools, that is not given in formulas. There's a frequency, a vibrational code behind each success story told there. And whoever captures this code never lives the same way again. This code is not activated by logic, but by deep emotion. It requires faith, not ordinary religious faith, but a raw, almost irrational faith, the kind that turns fear into fire and doubt into path. That's what drives those who dare to materialize invisible visions. And that's why so many fail, because they look for formulas when they should be looking for frequencies. Napoleon Hill didn't write a book. He carved a key. The question is, are you ready to turn it? Hill wasn't alone. In his lesser-known writings, he spoke of an invisible cabin of advisors. Names like Abraham Lincoln, Edison, Darwin, Ford. Historical figures he said he summoned into his mind to seek answers. Madness? Imagination? Or a primitive form of something we now call quantum visualization? What few people know is that Hill believed these entities were not just symbols. They were access points to higher intelligences, living archetypes that shape the destiny of those who invoke them with faith. This practice, although hidden under layers of metaphor, is all over the book. When Hill speaks of burning faith, he is not just motivating. He is describing an altered state of consciousness, a way to open internal portals and connect with forces that operate beyond logic. This connection creates a bridge between desire and reality, a bridge that is not visible to the eye, but that defines absolutely everything you attract. The great truth is that the mind is not just an instrument. It is a temple, a field of communication with the invisible. When you focus intensely on something, you are not just desiring. You are transmitting, evoking, drawing into the etheric that which has not yet been born in matter. Hill discovered this, but he knew that the world was not ready. That is why he hid the greatest secret in the most difficult place to find, within yourself. Napoleon Hill did not just write about success. He wrote silently about failure, but not as the absence of victory, but as the result of subconscious programming. Most people fail because they carry an internal image of scarcity, of unworthiness, of ancestral fear. Hill called these the 6 ghosts of fear. They are invisible, but they control decisions, sabotage plans, and interrupt miracles. And they live in the unconscious of those who have never been introduced to their own power. These ghosts are passed down from generation to generation. They are born with phrases like, "This is not for you. Money is hard to come by. You don't deserve this much." They grow within families, religions, and schools. And what's worse, many believe that they are their own thoughts. But they are seeds planted by a system that doesn't want you to wake up. Napoleon Hill knew this. That's why he said that the greatest battlefield is the mind, and the greatest enemy is invisible. Defeating this enemy requires more than reading. It requires confrontation, deep self-observation, inner silence, and above all, courage to tear apart the fragile image that the world has built of you. Because as long as you obey the voices of fear, no technique will work. But the very moment you declare war on your old self, the universe changes its position, as if something was just waiting for you to actually stand up. Hill spoke of desire, but not just any desire. He spoke of a desire that comes from the soul, not from the ego, a desire aligned with purpose. This is what opens the doors to what he called infinite intelligence. Many people ask for money, success, power, but they don't feel in their hearts. They don't breathe this desire with truth. And the universe doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you vibrate. This is why so many affirmations don't work. Because they are repeated with fear, in a hurry, with emotional falsehood. Hill insisted, emotion is the bridge. True emotion is the password to access the invisible. When desire is aligned with a greater purpose, it carries an almost divine force. And it is this force that moves coincidences, improbable encounters, doors that open where there were only walls. This can't be taught. It can be felt. This is why, for Hill, success was never just a question of technique. It was a question of spiritual surrender, of being in tune with something greater. He said that when you find your purpose, the invisible forces begin to conspire in your favor. Not because you asked for it, but because you have become one with what you asked for. And when that happens, reality has no choice. It bends. Most people read, think, and grow rich, and close the book expecting results. But the ones who really change are the ones who allow the book to read them. The ones who enter each page as if they were entering a mirror, looking not for the path, but for the reflection of their own power. Hill never wanted to be understood. He wanted to be felt. Because those who feel transform, and those who transform manifest. This awakening does not happen loudly. It is subtle, silent, almost imperceptible. One day, you simply wake up different, with the courage to say no, with a hunger for purpose, with an inner certainty that you are here for something greater. There's no going back. And when it happens, all the laws that previously held you back disappear. Because you have started operating on a different frequency. And this frequency attracts everything that previously seemed impossible. If you felt something during this video, do not ignore it. Maybe you have been called. Maybe you are ready to hear what Hill left written in silence. If so, write in the comments, I am ready to unlock the invisible code. Write as if you were sending a signal to the universe. As if you were no longer asking, you were assuming. Because when you assume who you are, the impossible ceases to exist. Now that you have seen what was hidden, there is no going back. You are no longer the same person who played this video. There is a seed planted, and it will grow, with or without your permission. Because what you heard here was not just a story. It was a call, a mirror, a spark that, if fed, can turn into a fire capable of burning everything that kept you small. Napoleon Hill did not teach you how to get rich. He taught you how to awaken. The question is, will you just listen, or will you act? The life you want already exists. It is vibrating at a different frequency, waiting for you to tune in. It is not about trying. It is about deciding. It is about declaring to the universe, with all your being, that you are ready to live what you came to live. Forget the excuses. Forget the time you wasted. Everything can change the very moment you change your vibration. The mind that has understood the code no longer needs permission. It needs action. And attitude creates miracles. If this touched you in any way, prove to yourself that you understood. Write in the comments, I am done waiting. My time is now. Don't write on impulse. Write as if you are signing a spiritual contract with your new destiny. As if you don't need luck, because you are carrying the secret that the world doesn't see, but that builds invisible kingdoms and transforms them into reality.